Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Campbell Chronicles. Today, we bring a very special episode. I'm joined by my brother, Kyle Campbell, today, host and creator of Vanilla Soup.
Yeah, my channel is also here on YouTube. It's a variety channel. We kind of focus over there on gaming mostly, but it's still a variety. We got lots of gaming content with anime and Disney, and so we felt like this would be a good common place for us to meet up and talk some D23.
Yeah, D23. It's been a week since D23 started, and now that we've had a chance to mull some things over, we thought it would be a good idea to come back on and share with you our top most exciting things from D23. If you're not sure what D23 is, every other year Disney puts on a massive convention where fans of all walks, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, anything Disney really, gather together. There's cosplay, there's announcements, anything that you can think of. It's a very exciting event for the Disney nerd like myself.
Think Comic-Con, but just Disney.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Right.
Your central hub for announcements and entertainment and merchandise.
Yeah. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and comment down below. What are some of the things that you are most excited for about the announcements coming from D23? I'll have Kyle start us off here.
A lot of our things that we're talking before this video, they might overlap, but there's enough room to be excited about certain things, if that makes sense. Yeah. Personally, for me, the biggest thing was Disney Plus. But more specifically, what I'm excited from Disney Plus is Wanda Vision. Actually, that's one of the big ones I'm excited for.
I have to say, you're gonna have to tell me a little bit more about it. I don't know. I just saw what was on there, so I didn't read any further follow-up articles or anything. So what is the Wanda Vision from what we gather so far?
Yeah, so they haven't shown off a bunch of what it's about. They've kind of told us what it's about. Obviously, it's about Wanda and the Vision,
This is a Marvel...
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to take place in the MCU. It's going to be connected. It is taking place after Endgame, and they said how they bring the Vision back is yet to be revealed. And so,
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so that's going to be interesting to see how they do that. They said it's going to be one of the biggest secrets of the show, but primarily, above all else, they want to convey that it's a sitcom.
A sitcom. That's what I was going to ask you. I heard it was a sitcom. It looks interesting. Some new territory by the sounds of it for Marvel and Disney. I'm excited because it's something new and different.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's something that I think will breathe a whole new center of life into those characters, because they're really serious characters, and to see them in a sitcom will be really fun.
Along with Kyle's WandaVision, one of the things that I'm most excited for is the new Star Wars show, The Mandalorian. During the D23 convention, they released a full-blown trailer that looks amazing. Now, some highlights from this. We got a new character wearing Mandalorian armor, the slick jet look. It just looks amazing. The visual effects look absolutely stunning. The new characters, they look good. They have some actors in there that I've seen in other shows, and I know they do well. So it'll be exciting to see them in a Star Wars role now. But then they have things like IG-88.
Yeah. Well.
You told me that it may not be IG-88. Yeah. But everybody on the internet is still calling it IG-88. So
I think it's definitely opening up the world to more bounty hunters and more people besides, the traditional Boba Fett, Bosk, people that we know as bounty hunters. And who knows, maybe the Mandalorian isn't really a bounty hunter.
Right.
But that scum and villainy feel, the Western, man with no name is that, and that's exactly what the creators were saying that they wanted this to be. It's a Western in space, man with no name kind of dynamic.
Right.
They call him the Mandalorian for a reason, not by his real name.
Right. And they have creators on this like Dave Filoni, the creator of the Clone Wars and Rebels. He's used to doing TV shows. Now he's going into the live action department. And again, I have to say, it looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah. A lot of the things I like about this one are things that I liked about Solo as well. New territory, new characters, an era that's not really explored that much. In between episode 3 and 4, well, I guess this one does take place after Return of the Jedi.
Right, yep.
But still, an area that's not often explored within the Star Wars shows or movies.
Right. I've read some books about what happens after Return of the Jedi, but this is the first time seeing it on any kind of screen. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for it. Along with that, Star Wars news, we have probably one of your most anticipated things.
Kenobi. Kenobi, I'm excited for. I mean, this has been rumored for a long time. Even when Ewan McGregor was on stage, he's talked about how he had to keep his mouth shut for years.
He fibbed.
Yeah.
He said they fibbed.
Yeah, it's so long. People would ask him, like, oh, are you going to come back as Obi-Wan Kenobi? He said, well, there's been talks, but nothing really. They've never approached me about anything, and I think it's just going to be a huge fan-centric show. While there's going to be, definitely new ideas and a good story, but, like, this is something that the fans have asked for.
Right, and Ewan McGregor does a fantastic job in that role. It's only fair to see him again. He's, in my opinion, one of the best things that came out of the prequels. He did a fantastic job.
No, I agree. Whether you love or dislike the prequels, I have never seen anyone say that Ewan McGregor didn't do a good job.
Right. Another one that I'm really excited for is called One Day at Disney. This show looks absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge Disney Parks guy. What this really does, it kind of goes behind the scenes of all the cast members. You get a close-up look and see what their daily lives are like as working for Disney. I'm pretty excited for that one.
Yeah, I think that's really unusual for Disney to do too. They usually like to keep that curtain there. They don't want you to know the secrets behind the magic. So it'll be interesting to see how much information they do give us.
Right.
Because, the whole aspect of showing the daily life of a cast member, like, okay, is that just your average cast member that's manning a line, or is that the Disney princess that, is in character? Granted, they're all in character, but, they get to be themselves in character when they're at a line, not necessarily a character.
I think they do a good job of keeping things hush, like, especially with the characters. They don't even really, if you work for Disney and you're a character, you're not even allowed to tell your friends or family who you are. So I think they'll keep that,
Yeah, it's kind of true to form too. Like, why would they show any more than just like, hey, we have artists that work behind this? Well, of course you do. We're just getting them to see their face.
In this day and age, you have a lot of people, when you have to evacuate a ride, everybody's got their cell phone out. You see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff on the internet anyways, so I'm thinking that they're just going to try to...
Control
behind the scenes, yeah. So another one that we're really excited for is The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really unique show. A lot of these shows that have this, host that just traveling, it kind of tends to lean on the side of they're trying to drive a point home or a certain narrative, maybe whether it be social or political. This one just seems lighthearted fun. Jeff Goldblum says, hey, I know nothing. I'm just going to go out to the world and experience everything. And I think that's an awesome idea.
I've been a fan of Jeff Goldblum since I was 8 years old when Jurassic Park came out. So
you gotta
seeing
see
him in
that
different
good
roles,
upper chest shot.
Independence Day, all these other roles he came out in movies, I loved him in. If you've seen him in real life, he has quite a bit of personality, and so I think we'll see a lot of that come out in the show.
Definitely.
The other announcements that we're excited about, besides Disney Plus, what'd you have?
It's still in the line of the movies and show world, but Raya and the Last Dragon, we don't know a whole lot about it, but it looks like it's going to be something that's new and fresh, and that's what Disney is to me. It's the new creative ideas. We love their sequels. We love some of their remakes, but it's always a breath of fresh air when they do come out with something truly original.
Yeah.
That's why I think like Moana has such success today. Frozen, like these new ideas that
Inside Out.
Yeah, Inside Out. There you go. And so Raya in The Last Dragon being something completely different. The only other dragon I can think of that Disney's ever messed with is like Pete's dragon. Do they have any other?
They had Mulan with Mishu.
Yeah.
But you're right. They don't. That wasn't really. I think this is going to be more true to the culture. Show.
Yeah.
Not that Mulan was. I mean, it was kind of Americanized, but I think this will be definitely more true to the culture.
Yeah, and I think that's where Disney really thrives, is when they do some sort of deep dive into a culture that is not really our own. It is an American company, but I'm getting looks at Polynesian culture with Moana. Getting a look at Nordic culture with Frozen, like these kind of Scandinavian culture. Yeah, there we go. That we're not talking Vikings here, are we? But yeah, this different look into other cultures. That's something we really like. Even that goes back to old Disney movies too. Cinderella. Like not all of us are poor stepdaughters,
Yeah.
And so getting a look into someone else's world, that's kind of what Disney's always been about, and I love when they go back to that.
Right. I'm torn. One of the things you bring up movies, they also released a new trailer for Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be interesting. It has me excited, and it has me kind of upset at the same time. If you know me, my feelings towards Star Wars, I wasn't the biggest fan of The Last Jedi. I think everybody we still know is kind of split half and half. But the trailer looks great. I think it can either end really badly or really good.
Yeah, and we've talked about this too, because we're on opposite sides of the coin. I really like The Last Jedi. And I think that this movie has a lot of weight on its shoulders to try and bring those two, divides of people back to, hey, we still love Star Wars. Remember that.
I think they have a good chance of doing that, bringing Emperor Palpatine back. We don't really know. But, of course, the trailer looks great. You see Rey with a double-sided lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. And fans have been asking for that since they saw her staff,
So, but that is actually one of my concerns is J.J. Abrams just trying to shove everything that fans wanted down their throats to satisfy over what happened with The Last Jedi. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, and that kind of gets back into the thing of the whole idea is like, do we want original ideas or do we want, the same? And I feel like the way they presented The Rise of Skywalker is a little bit of both, Some ground familiar ideas, but hey, whoa.
It's going to be new because of The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
the way The Last Jedi went, we're obviously going to get a new story, completely new story. I don't think it'll be carbon copy like Force Awakens.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, and I think the whole idea of bringing someone back from the dead in a big role like Palpatine. Right. I mean, sure, we've seen Force Ghosts before. That's not a new concept, but on the dark side, that is a new concept for the movies.
Yeah, agreed. Well, while we're talking about Star Wars, one of the things I'm anticipating the most from the announcements at D23 was the new Star Wars hotel in Disney World. That's in Orlando, Florida. It looks absolutely stunning. I mean, this is going to be a full-on, full-blown immersive experience, and from the sounds of it, you check into this hotel, they don't really want you to leave because there's so much that's offered there. So, aside from the parks that are there, you have 6 gates, 2 water parks, and 4 theme parks. They want you to be, it feels like they want this to be their own attraction too, that you could easily spend a couple days in, completing missions, interacting with the cast members. Just looks absolutely amazing. They had the model, the Chandril. Do you remember what they call it? It was a Chandrillian make, which is awesome because they're bringing more of those expanded universe planets into canon. And that's what Batuu, the Galaxy's Edge. Right. Yeah, they're supposed to be canonized, and so now they're canonizing this hotel, which is like this cruise ship that goes into space. Yeah. Gosh, I know it's going to cost a pretty penny, but I'm excited. I got to do it. My 8-year-old self now would just be screaming like a girl.
If I was 31 years old again.
I'm excited for it. It looks absolutely amazing.
No, I'm with you on that. And I think it actually gives a big reason to stay at the hotels again because the way I've always viewed Disney hotels is like, yeah, it's a great experience, but why not just save the extra money, get a couple more days in the park by spending your money at a hotel outside the park?
Sure.
This gives you more reason to be immersed in the hotel and in Disney World. It just gives you that much more reason to just have a blast and focus 100% on Disney or whatever they're offering at the time.
I agree. That's the way we've mostly done Disney is we've stayed off property and you save a lot of money. But yeah, they're trying to bring people on property and they've said that. They've come out and said that. These hotels, these new resorts like Reflections, they're designed to make you fill up your vacation there, not with just the parks, but now in the resorts too. And all the other resorts, whether it be DVC, Deluxe, Values, they all have their niches where they target a certain group, and the people that end up going there, every time I've heard a review on, they love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. So this is going to be people that, I mean, like the parks with the Galaxy's Edge, it's going to bring people who aren't even Disney fans to Star Wars. Yeah. And it's going to, they got that whole crowd coming now. You can go there for, it sounds like 2, 3, or I don't know how many days, and just never leave.
Yeah, and I think that, like how you said earlier, it's its own attraction, and I think that's something really important too, because maybe you do just go to this hotel just to go to the hotel for a few nights, Maybe you get a Disney World pass or a season pass and just spend a couple nights in the hotel only, and then go do whatever in the park while staying in another hotel to save some money that way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an option. It's going to be pricey, like you said. I'm going to do it regardless eventually. Like, it's just on my bucket list to be there. I mean, you get your clothes, you get your ID, you get everything that's going to immerse you in Star Wars. And who doesn't want that?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, they're going to have like a wardrobe, right? You can pick out your ward. They'll have it there waiting for you. You can put on these Star Wars clothes. It's going to be fully immersive.
And even coming from my side of things with more of like the anime convention appeal that I've covered on my channel, a lot of my friends love cosplay. And that's something universal for any fandom. But I know a lot of my friends have been saying, whoa, like Star Wars Land is going to have cosplay given to you? Oh, heck yeah. So that's going to be a huge appeal.
like you said, I think it's going to be pricey. And, you know, from a DVC standpoint, I think the points, kind of like a cruise, it's not going to be worth the trade. I think you're probably better off maybe selling or renting out your points and using the cash for a stay like this. I don't think the point conversion will be good at all.
Yeah.
So, but it's still something I'm going to experience. I have to. So along with the parks, we're also very excited for the Avengers Campus announcement.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that I think is going to be slightly different from Star Wars, the Black Spire Outpost. We talked about how that's going to be, you know, a very immersive experience, and this to an extent as well. But Black Spire takes place during a certain time in Star Wars, whereas Avengers is going to just be sort of this generic look at Marvel and, you know, characters from the movies, the comics, the TV shows, anything. And it's kind of like a no holds barred.
Yeah, and they're doing 2 rides, a Spider-Man ride in the first phase, and then an Avengers ride where you get on a Quinjet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that, I think the technology that's going to involve that is going to be something really to look forward to, just because we've seen the Black Spire Outpost and how much technology they've incorporated in that time gap between, you know, when they started development of that has been 5-6 years now, and to see what they are doing now, I'm really excited to see what they can pull off here.
Yeah, I am too. I'm a big Marvel fan, especially after Infinity War and Endgame, so it'll be fun to see. Along with that, we have some huge announcements over at Disney World with Epcot. They're splitting it up into 4 different lands now. I don't think that's a bad move. I've been to Disney World, but you know, if you're a Disney World fan, you know, forgive me for saying this, but when I went, it just seemed kind of like it could use some improvement. There's some characters that I fell in love with, like Figment and rides like the Spaceship Earth, that I'm sad to see get changed a little bit. They're changing Spaceship Earth. I think it has one of the best soundtracks out of any ride at any Disney park, but they're changing it. So I'm gonna have to go over and check that out. But the new park, the new pavilions, the new restaurant, the space restaurant near Mission Space looks absolutely fantastic. You're gonna have to get reservation months in advance to go there. You're seated in this big open dining area with all the windows. They're basically shots of you in space. Basically, it gives you shots of Earth as it's orbiting or something like that.
So the illusion of you being in outer space is definitely there.
You're getting the illusion. They're going to go through daytime and nighttime sequences, so you get the lights, you get the day, the brilliance of the day. It's just going to be fantastic. It's a must-do in my book. I got to go eat there now. Cool. But yeah, Epcot is definitely going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. One of my honorable mentions as far as what I'm looking forward to the most from these announcements was the Disney Cruise Line announced their new ship name titled the Disney Wish. It looks absolutely stunning. From what I gather, it's supposed to be a much bigger ship that will only accommodate about the same amount as the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy, which are large ships to begin with, but this one's going to be even bigger than that, but hold the same amount of people. So you're getting rid of that you'll feel less crowded. So
more of a luxury line by the sounds of it.
Yeah, definitely. I love the Disney Cruise Line. We went on a Disney cruise last March, and it was absolutely fantastic. Would recommend that to anybody who's ever thinking about it. It's worth it. Go, especially if you're a Disney fan, Star Wars fan, or a Marvel fan. Find those Marvel Days at Sea sailings, or find that Star Wars Day at Sea sailing. You're gonna love it.
And I've personally never been on a cruise, so this is kind of an extra kick in the pants. Like, hey, you should do this eventually, because it's gonna be hard to get in. I'm sure. I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be hard. I mean, I imagine the first year of sailing is going to be taken by platinum, silver, and gold members. But you'll be able to get on. You just got to be on it. You got to be on it as soon as they open up reservations. I imagine it won't be cheap. Again, from a DVC standpoint, don't convert those points over. Sell them and buy it with cash. Along with the cruise line, they also gave us some new artist renderings of their new Lighthouse Point private island in the Bahamas. They look amazing. On this Lighthouse Point, they had Joe Rohde, one of my most favorite Imagineers, work on this. He was a huge influence in the Animal Kingdom Lodge over in Disney World, and he's now working on this project, and I love his artistic style. He's a very cool guy, very unique character. I've watched a lot of interviews and different vlogs with him in it. I'm excited. I'm glad they put him in charge because he has that creative mind that will just really nail this island for Disney.
I've never been, again, I'll say, but
you gotta go.
Yeah,
you just gotta go.
All this talk up is just, when will I go? I'm about to break out into a Disney princess song dreaming about this.
There's a lot of Disney fans out there that haven't experienced the Disney cruises, and honestly, you know, it's worth it. It is expensive, especially if you compare it to other cruise lines, but what you get, the service and everything, is fantastic. It really is. And so, yes, of course, I'm going to recommend go out, save that little extra scratch up, and go, because you won't regret it. If you're a Star Wars, Disney, or Marvel fan, you're going to love it. It's a different side to Disney that I think you'll love. It brings in that relaxation side. When I try to explain to people, I always say, you know, think of Disneyland or Disney World without all the work. You're going to have that magic in a much more relaxed environment. So those are some of the things that we're most excited for from the announcements at D23 Expo. I have one thing that I'm kind of a little nervous about, along with how excited I am for with Disney Plus coming out. I'm a little nervous about some of the shows. Like we talked about Lady and the Tramp coming out. You know, they're using live animal actors again and then just making their mouths move. That seems very Air Bud-ish. You know, it's not going to be there's a reason why it's going straight to Disney Plus and not to the big screen.
And I think this is one of those IPs where, you know, we look back at Lady and the Tramp fondly, but I don't know of anybody that's really, they need to retell that story. Lion King, that was like something a lot of fans wanted to see more interpretations of that. And so we got a big Lion King movie this summer.
Right.
But Lady and the Tramp,
like I said, I can kind of see it on that Air Bud caliber.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like your most amazing movie. Now it's Disney; they know what they're doing. I get that, but the reason why I'm nervous about it, Disney Plus, is because they're going to have to go through some growing pains. Yeah. Take Netflix for example. How many shows have they launched that have just flopped on their faces?
Yeah,
Disney's not immune to this. They've had flops, and so they're going to have to go through some growing pains, to say the least.
Yeah, and I think back to what you said about how Disney knows what they're doing. If you go on the internet, dog memes are just, you know, running rampant right now. And I think they do know that, you know, people, especially my age, are just, they love the dog memes. They love anything with the word doggo in it. You know, it's just, it's something that I think Disney's looking at and making almost a false equivalency to, saying, oh, if we make a movie about dogs again, fans will really like it. So we'll see how it does. I'm not particularly excited for it either. I think it looks cheesy and not in the cool magical kind of way that Disney is accustomed to. But yeah, we'll have to see, because I want to give it the benefit of a doubt and say, yeah, I mean, Disney knows what they're doing. Of course they're going to make a good movie, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, that about wraps it up today, guys. Kyle, you know, thanks for joining me on my show. Is there any asks you have for the audience?
You know, if you want to just check out more of my channel, Vanilla Soup, right here on YouTube. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's a variety channel. We cover all sorts of things between video games, anime, and Disney.
Yeah.
We do live streams of games, so if you just kind of are the one kind of person that likes to hang out and chill, that's it for you too.
Yeah, click on that link right there. Click on it. Go see him. Go visit him. He's got a good channel. He puts out some really good info about technology and gaming. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check him out. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you real soon, because it's time to say goodnight. Thanks again, guys, for watching. We'll see you.
Pleasure. See you real soon.
Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you real soon, because it's kind. The Disney Cruise announced its new ship name, the Disney Witch.
What a witch. See you real soon.
All right. Thanks again for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, smash that subscribe button right here on the Disney Channel of Chronicles Campbell. Only here once a week for your entertainment.
That's going at the end. That's the end screen right there.